Welcome to Conversation with Zaki Baruti, with your host, Zaki Baruti. And like always, I want to give a shout out to my biological family. What's happening? To the Universal African Peoples Organization family, what's going on? And to New Life Evangelistic Center family, headed by Reverend Rice. Keep up the great work. And a shout out to our amazing cameraman, Bob. On that note, we'll have another great show because in studio with me is a young man that is the founder and the CEO/president of Global Care and Wellness. And I'm speaking none other than Brother Charles J. Jones. Welcome to Conversation with Zaki Baruti, sir.
Welcome. Nice to be here with you.
Okay, then. Before we begin our programs, I always like for my audience to know a little bit of the background of the person that I'm interviewing.
Sure.
So wherever you want people to know about you, would you kindly share?
Absolutely. Well, I am actually from St. Louis, Missouri. Grew up in the Breckenridge/Overland, Missouri area, right where we're sitting.
Okay.
And also I went to University of Missouri, and what kind of spurred Global Care and Wellness, I started out selling financial instruments, and then I moved to consumer product industry, and then I moved to healthcare industry, and then all of those things kind of helped me understand that people need what we call the 4 pillars. So Global Care and Wellness mission is to care for the needs of the people, physically, financially, emotionally, and spiritually, with a team of subject matter experts. So we can help build healthy communities, and that community will really be communal, collective, cooperative communities to help people have their food, clothing, shelter, safety, and security needs met. So that's a little bit about me and how I transition into Global Care and Wellness.
Now, in terms of the process of the transition, you transitioned from working in the corporate world?
Working in the corporate world, yes.
And how was that experience?
For a little bit, obviously, first you go into it to make money and help people make money, right? And then after a while, selling financial instruments, we were calling on that 1%, 2%, 3% to help them make more money, right? So they really didn't need us, and it really wasn't liberating the people because it was just that 1%, 2%, 3% of the total population. And who was getting left behind? That 99, 98, 97% of the people weren't a part of that whole operation to help people build wealth.
Well, you know, that speaks to the level of people coming into, in my humble opinion, consciousness at different levels, saying, hey, I need to be actually working on behalf of the people in some capacity.
Right.
When did that hit you?
That hit me probably, I did it for about 9 years. It hit me probably in year 3. And then I actually started kind of going out.
Wait a minute, you say you had been doing it for 9 years?
For 9 years. But in year 3, I just started adding, talking to the faith-based community, and I started a program called Biblical Economics. And it was all the principles that they were teaching us for financial planning, how to be financially independent. So we just changed the language to go biblical. If you were to look at your biblical principles, a lot of it is based on money and possessions, how to be a good steward with your money and possessions. So we just started teaching that. So biblical economics, teaching people how to maximize their 401ks, their pension plans, their retirement plans, and those things to make money. And then on the other side, how to be a good steward, making sure you don't overpay on your insurance, overpay on everything that you would spend $1 on.
I know that's right. Now, in terms of when did you actually created the Global Care and Wellness?
In 1998, we were doing it officially in 2004.
2004, then officially. Okay. Then. Now, you say there's 4 pillars.
4 pillars.
Of the concept. So let's go through those pillars, so slowly for surely, so that our audience can really grasp those 4 pillars.
Okay.
All right, pillar number 1
is physical health. What
physical health?
What is physical health? All the things that really people are struggling with. They're struggling with high blood pressure. They're struggling with diabetes. They're struggling with obesity or being overweight. They're struggling with their stress and anxiety, which raises your cortisol level, which reduces your immune system to make you susceptible for different diseases, even as far as cancer. Really your body when it's in the right state, your pH balance is where it needs to be. You're not acidic, and definitely you're more pH balanced. So you have a homeostasis in your body, so your immune system can ward off things. When that is upset, you're very susceptible to diabetes, to hypertension, to you name the kind of cancers, and even your thought process. So your mind isn't thinking at the highest level, so you can make really good informed decisions.
So within that context of that pillar dealing with the physical body, you made mention of obesity and the other things. So what are your recommendations? I know they need to come and see you, but in a general sense, to combat, I see a lot of obesity in our community,
Yes.
and my sisters, Lord have mercy, and my brothers. We need to, we really need, what's the dangers of obesity, first of all?
Obesity sets the stage for your body to be susceptible for diabetes.
Okay.
When you start talking about foods and what you put in your body, it's either going to be medicine or poison. So when you start talking about eating for emotional reasons, right, you're going to do things that taste well. So that's where you start getting the carbs, and overabundance of carbs causes issues in your body because you can't burn it. Or some of those foods are genetically modified organizations, which isn't an organism. So it isn't real food. So your body doesn't know what to do with it, so it just stores it. And it stores it predominantly around your midsection. It stores in all of these different pockets because it doesn't know how to eliminate it out of your body, and it doesn't give you fuel that you need. So what you got to do, you got to get people to reduce their stress and anxiety between their ears, and then give them options.
Okay, on that note, we're going to have to take our first break.
Maybe on the journey of life, you feel like you're just overwhelmed. You feel like you're stumbling over one thing or another. You're about to go over the cliff of life. Everything seems so hopeless at this moment. I want to encourage you to get into God's Word. Faith cometh by hearing, hearing by the Word of God. Look around you at the wonders of all that God has created. Let faith come into your heart. Experience His joy, His peace, His power. And as you do that, get your eyes off your problems and look at somebody else that's in need out there. There's so many homeless people at this time. You see them everywhere. So many hurting people. I'd invite you to join us on Friday mornings in front of City Hall at 6:45 to 8:15 and just reach out and be a part of how we're helping the people there. We're get them food, water, transportation assistance, clothing, just hygiene items, a wide range of support. But you take your eyes off your problems, you see somebody else. And it does a whole lot, because a lot of times you go into prayer and you're just focused on the problem, and the problem gets bigger and bigger. Our prayer involves taking our eyes off ourselves, looking to God, the author and creator of all, and spelling out the word acts. First, engage in adoration. Then the C is confession. Yes, and then what do you do after that? Well, you engage in thanksgiving. And then the S, supplication, you go on and ask Him. There's a whole lot in God's Word that will give us direction on that struggle as we go through life. You can also get more if you want to go to LarryRiceMinistries.org. There's a lot there at that site. And we offer you many opportunities here at the New Life Evangelistic Center to go out among the hurting and homeless. You can do that. You can work at our headquarters at 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. There's so many different opportunities. And if you want further information, call us at 314-421-3020, but go to nlecstl.org. Let's do something right now. This world is hurting. You and I can make a big difference for good.
When you partner with New Life Evangelistic Center, you impact so many people. The economy in this country is really hurting so many all over. And we're seeing the number of people who are experiencing homelessness rise. You can make a difference today by giving your gift online at newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. Make a real big change in the lives of so many.
Welcome back. Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In studio with me is Brother Charles J. Jones, who's the founder of Global Care and Wellness. And on the other side of the break, we were looking at your first pillar of concern in terms of what you do, trying to help our people. and I was asking the question around obesity. Now, and you say it's, this food that's artificial or not real food,
genetically modified,
such as
yes.
what? Give me a quick example.
For instance, how wheat nowadays, they have cut wheat so often. You remember we used to eat wheat bread when we were back in the 50s and 60s? That to really economically, if they continue to cut that, it's just like you're reducing the effectiveness of that, and you're putting in artificial fillers and things like that, that really the body can't use for nutrition and vitamins and minerals. It tastes good, but it really doesn't do what the body needs to build that energy and fulfill those vitamins, minerals, and things that the body needs.
Two other recommendations to combat obesity that leads to diabetes and high blood pressure that you would recommend.
Some things you got to cut back on sugars. And then you got to cut back, not out. You got to cut back on your sodium or your salt. Things that anytime something tastes too good, it's probably because they got sugar in it and they got salt in it, which it tastes good, but it's not good for you.
You know what? On salt in of itself, I never ever forget this. I used to be a salt.
Yeah.
They even taste the food, and I put salt in it. I was out with some friends. Union members, teachers union members, and I was getting ready. We were out to dinner, and the food that came, I was getting ready to put salt on it, and a brother said, "Man, what you doing?" And he taught me.
Yeah.
He brought that to my attention. I would give praise that he brought it to me, because from that point on, I would stop that. I don't hardly use no salt no more.
Right.
Okay, then. All right. The second pillar. What would be the second pillar?
Financial health.
Financial health.
And really that could easily be the first pillar. But think about it. Everything you need to be successful in life, to be able to establish food, being able to have these things, food, clothing, shelter, safety, and security. That's going to take finances.
You got that right, especially in this society, which is based on capitalism.
Yes.
But anyway, go ahead on that.
Yeah. So how do you help people understand that? Is that they are really good stewards over over the funds that come into their hands, right? And then you got to help them manage it. You got to be able to budget. How much of let's say you're making $1, how much of that percentage should go to your housing, how much it should go to your food, how much it should go to your cars, how much it should go to your entertainment, how much, and then it's actually some ratios, just like high blood pressure. A good high blood pressure is 120/80, what we would say would be normal. So
Right.
what percentage of your income should be spent on housing? That's about 25 to 32%. So now you have a target what you should be spending. How much did you spend on your automobile? It's a 15% or less. And so if you stay within those ratios, you're going to have a healthy financial picture, and you're not overspending. And you actually got to identify. You don't just, a lot of people say, well, let's just log or account for where your money's going. No, you got to direct where it's going. I'm only going to spend this much on housing, only this percentage of my income on vehicles, only this percentage on insurance, only this percentage. And now that's so much peace in that. And so, how a lot of people got a whole lot more muff than money. That's because they didn't plan well. And that financial health, when you're healthy, that stress and anxiety again that we talk about will keep you from overeating, will keep that stress level down, will keep that cortisol level from going through the roof. And cortisol level, when it really is high, it actually damages your organs, damages your ability to have to think well and make good, sound, solid decisions.
So you're saying, in essence, the state of your financial being also impact your mind and your body, huh?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's why I guess in our community we have a lot of illness, huh?
A lot of illness, because everything's connected. I know a lot of times we talk about, you'll greet someone and they say, well, brother, Zaki, everything is everything. They don't know how profound that statement is. If your finances is out of whack, it's going to impact your physical health. Because why? You're not going to go to a doctor's appointment because that money isn't there available. You're not going to go get your medications. You're going to do things that's really helpful for your overall health and well-being. You're not going to do it because you're not financially healthy.
And I think if we did studies, I know there are studies in terms of lifespans, you would find those people of wealth have much greater lifespan than those of us who don't have that kind of money coming in. We say, damn, how is I'm going to pay for this and that or survive, right? So, okay then, and my last question around financial health. In your process of working to educate people around the four pillars, what kind of response have you gotten in regards to the financial component?
Everybody agrees to it, but there's still some discipline that goes along with it. So usually when people are in a state of stress, anxiety, and they're struggling, you gotta pull some of those things off the people's plate. Like they're paying too much for their insurance. So you get them to where they're paying a fair rate on their insurance. They're paying too much for, let's say, their medications. You got to get them to where they're paying something that's fair. And now those additional dollars you put to where it's going to do something positive for their emotional, mental health, and certainly be able to access the things they need for the other pillars.
Now, one last thing on that, and I guess I'm going to have to ask that on the other side of the break because we have to take a break.
Sure.
So many people are hurting and hopeless. They feel despondent and in despair. They are living on the streets in conditions that are horrible and not suitable for any human being. And it takes so many loving people to walk alongside them and give them opportunities to change. Zaki Baruti and his show is exposing the people who are making a real difference in our community. And he's been a faithful partner of New Life Evangelistic Center for many years. And I want to invite you to be like Zaki Baruti and make an impact in someone's life today. You can love others well, and you can do it in a meaningful and powerful way. I am so thankful for people who have partnered like Zaki, and I just want to share some of the impacts that you're really making when you partner with New Life Evangelistic Center. You're offering 365 days of care for a woman in need who's fleeing domestic abuse. You're offering not just care, but discipleship and mentorship and training services for her. Not only are you doing that, you're also getting hygiene kits and survival gears into the hand of people who need them, who are living on the streets of St. Louis. Not only that, but you're caring for orphans and widows in India, and you're preaching the gospel in every single one of these places, India, Ukraine, and all throughout mid-Missouri. You're also helping hundreds of people each day in the day center in Springfield. You're making a real impact on the lives of hundreds every single day. And you do that when you partner alongside New Life Evangelistic Center, along with faithful partners like Zaki Baruti. How I thank God for people like you for change.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In the studio with me, Brother Charles J. Jones, and we're looking at the work that his organization does, the Global Care and Wellness Program. Yes. Now, we were wrapping up on the financial end, but also off air, we were talking in terms of on the financial end.
Yes.
Gas prices are going through the roof.
Yes.
Food prices are going through the roof.
Yes.
Insurance. So, I mean, for those who are hearing you saying, yeah, I need to cut back, but damn, when I go to the gas station, I got to pay if I must keep on moving.
Right.
So what would be your response?
Well, let's just talk about a couple of solutions for that. Let's say gas prices, right? You fill your tank up. You know, what can you do to carpool? Let's say you're talking to your neighbors. We're all going to, let's say we're going to church or we're going to whatever entity that you're going to. Why not y'all decide, hey, let's go together. Let's carpool. You know, it's three of y'all. Now, instead of everybody burning their gas, only one is, and they're chipping together. So that's what I'm talking about when we're talking about we got to build communal, collective, cooperative communities. So let's do things together. Now that instead of just one, now you're splitting it by three. So that's how you get put more money back into each one of those, just those three entities, those three people back into the coffers to do more things. Same thing with insurance. You're talking about premiums for insurance, right? Somebody that's in that industry can help research and facilitate an insurance company that instead of it being $1,000 a year, now they find you something that's $700. Now you're putting $300 back into the coffers to do other things. And the same thing when we're talking about fast food. Yes, that fast food, it tastes good. So usually why? Because it has plenty of salt and sugar and things that really are getting you addicted. Because those are some very addictive things: salt, sugar, and then texture of taste. Right? What do you do if instead of doing 6, 8, 10 times a month, you cut back? And you could do it as community. Hey, let's have some potluck and we'll come together and have a meal and do that together and split the cost of the contents of the meal and fellowship. So now you kind of wrapping up several of the 4 pillars and helping each other do better.
Okay, moving on to your third pillar.
Okay. Emotional health.
Emotional health. Mm-hmm. And what is emotional health?
Emotional health is traumas that we go through. Let's say that you're at a bank and you're in line and somebody walks in front of you. You've been waiting there, and the teller goes ahead and serves them. That can make you kind of hot, right? So you got to figure out a way to talk to that. Whoever's running that, hey, I don't know what was happening. I'm waiting in line, and they just ignored me, and they went and served somebody else, right? If you can't get those traumatic things unraveled and a solution, it's going to keep building. You think you're driving your vehicle, somebody cuts you off. They're really at wrong, and they blow their horn at you. They talk nasty to you. Those traumatic things, if not addressed, is going to keep mushrooming in something big. So we got to be able to talk about those things on a regular basis to resolve those traumas that end up being some emotional things. Going through relationships, the bad relationship, you really don't have the things in common that you need for each other. You're struggling, they're struggling. These young adults ghost each other. They basically ignore each other. You got to be able to have an outlet to talk about that so you can come to a solution about that trauma before it mushrooms into something really large.
So what would be that outlet for controlling your emotions? What would you recommend?
We got to go back to where we have groups like we're talking. We once a week, the men meet and talk about their issues. The women meet, talk about their issues. The men and women meet, talk about their issues, and try to talk about solutions to be able to address these things that end up causing trauma. Unaddressed trauma is going to cause some emotional deficits.
And that trauma is reflective just most recently with a killing at White Castle, I believe, business where a sister was throwing food. I mean, it escalated. That's that emotional thing that we got to learn to control it. And I totally agree. But on that note, we got to take our final break.
Is anxiety becoming more and more a part of your daily living? Is it sucked all the joy out of you till worry begins to dominate your life? Then I want to encourage you to take the nature prescription that is given in Matthew chapter 6, verses 25 through 34. Experience the peace that passes all understanding as you move into the beauty of creation, meditating on the God who's created all this, letting His Word unfold in your life. When He says not to be anxious, don't be anxious, but consider the lilies. They don't go out here and toil and spin, and yet look at them in all their beauty, the flowers. Look at the birds. They don't worry about what they're going to reap and sow, and yet your Heavenly Father takes care of them. He'll also take care of you. But put first the kingdom of God. Jesus Christ, through His death and resurrection, made that possible. Commit your life to Jesus right now. Call upon Him in this day of trouble. He will deliver you, and you will experience His peace that passes all understanding, giving you the ability to stop worrying.
And now I just wanted to share with you that when you partner with New Life Evangelistic Center, you are truly giving hope to people who are in desperate straits. For 52 years, New Life Evangelistic Center has been helping men and women and children who are experiencing homelessness. And they hold on to hope because of partners like you. So I want to invite you to get more involved, to learn more about how you can plug in your time, your talents, your treasures into the work here at New Life Evangelistic Center. Go to nlecstl.org to learn more, or call 314-421-3020 to learn about how you can help others hold on to hope in their desperate time of need.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. I'm going to have a couple more minutes with Brother Charles Jones with global wellness and global care and wellness. Mm-hmm. Your fourth pillar.
Fourth pillar
we only got a couple minutes.
It's spiritual health. What is spiritual health? It's really be able to understand something larger than us is actually helpful, right? So some solutions. When you're having issues, just prayer and meditation will be helpful. You know, you hear people talking about, what is prayer? It's a little mystical thing. You just are talking about some of the things that are bothering you. Let's say meditation. You're really just being still, taking deep breaths, maybe counting to 10. And that will lower our stress and anxiety, lower that cortisol level. And there's some things that we can also do. You know, what are some of the things that you want to do to be able to get closer to something outside of you? You know, and you just got to meditate on it and pray on it, right? And what are your goals? What is your purpose here on earth? Those things really aren't a secret. What are the things that you have passion for? Usually purpose and passion goes together. If you really pay attention to what you have passion for, that's a green light for, hey, that's probably your purpose. So let's hone in on that so you can narrow all the different things that you can do. And that just goes along with your spiritual health. And obviously the golden rule, treat people like you want to be treated. You continue to do that and be around people that are doing that back to you. They're reciprocating that love and affection and attention and hearing you. You know, when you're saying, something's bothering me, well, tell me more about that. That all goes underneath that umbrella of spiritual health.
I know that's right. Now, for anybody who want to get in contact with you and receive some of those counseling and points that you are bringing up on the personal side, how would they get in contact with you?
The easiest way, not to make it difficult, just call. You see, that's my mobile number.
And what is it?
901
359
2635. And we have a website. And the website is globalcareandwellness.com.
And they can also email you.
They can email me at charlesj@globalcareandwellness.com. And the and is A-N-D.
Okay, then. And you've been doing that company again for how long now?
Since 1998.
And we 1998?
made it official in 2004.
2004. And overall, how would you say has been the response in the larger sense of folks to your company?
I haven't had anyone in all the years we've been doing it say that it's not necessary. Mm-hmm. You know, so we just got to continue to do more. And it's not just Charles Jones, it's with subject matter experts. If somebody needs a certain kind of counselor, we are a big educational company that also provides products and services. You see, and one of our other missions is the biblical side. Overcome Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. So we want to give them the education they need so they'll be able to make informed decisions.
No, that's right. Repeat that last quote then, because that's so prevalent in the community.
Hosea 4:6.
Hosea 4:6.
And that is, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So with that said, I truly appreciate you being in the studio with me, and
Absolutely.
May God continue to bless you.
Well, thank you so much.
And to the audience, like always, I say, elections are to come. Will be here shortly. Know the issues and make sure you go out and vote. Also, everyone needs to belong to an organization that speaks truth to power and working to uplift humanity. We say join the Universal African Peoples Organization. On that note, may God bless each and every one of you.